Morning, everyone. We're going to get started in just a moment. But before we do, there are a couple of announcements that I'd like to make. First, for those of you that might be extra sensitive to the heat, the graduation ceremony is going to be video cast to our auditorium that's air conditioned. So if the heat is an issue for you and you'd like to go somewhere that's a little bit more comfortable, please feel free to do so. You'll be able to see and hear the ceremony from the auditorium. Also, for those of us that are wearing jackets today, I'm going to use the little bit of authority that I have and deem that today is a jacket-free day. So please feel free to take your jackets off and be a little bit more comfortable. I have to stay on their good side. And finally, we have provided water. There's some in the rear against the fence and behind the sets of bleachers on either side. So if you feel that you need a little bit of water to refresh yourself, please feel free to get up and do so. And with that, we will get started with our ceremony this morning. Thank you. please remain standing for our national anthem.
Good morning. On behalf of the Bowes School District and the Bowes School Board, I'd like to welcome the parents, relatives, friends, faculty, staff, and most importantly, the class of 2001. I would like to take a minute to remember those who played a key role in the lives of our graduates and who are no longer with us. I'm sure they're looking down at them with a smile and feeling proud today. I'm pleased to have the opportunity to give the welcoming address today, not only as the school board chair, but more importantly, as a dad of a graduate. In my nearly 8 years of being a member of the school board, I have to admit, this is personally a very rewarding but difficult day as our youngest daughter is about to graduate. I'm sure all you parents share some of the same feelings of joy, but most importantly, we're proud of all of you. We know whatever you do after high school, you'll do your best. This class was the first class not to spend their freshman year at Bow Memorial. They didn't have a graduation, as ninth graders had had for years. They felt like they maybe had missed out. However, as an example of how this class is, they took charge and formed their own special party to celebrate their graduation from Bow Memorial. Many of these kids have been together since preschool. I remember the first day of school in 1997 when BHS opened. I stood there watching these young students enter the building for the first time as freshmen, not knowing what to expect. With all the preparation for that day, I have to tell you, I don't think anybody really knew what to expect. Bow High School is a wonderful building, but the building is nothing without great teachers, staff that have been assembled. I'd like to say a special thank you to one of those teachers that will be retiring. I'd like to thank Jim Jordan. You've touched the lives of so many students, and you've helped make math enjoyable for so many. I know the class of 2001 also joins me in wishing the best to you, Jim, as they dedicated the yearbook to you this year. This class holds a very special position in the history of Bow High School that no other class will ever have. They're the first class to have spent all 4 years at Bow High. They've played an instrumental role in forming the identity of Bow High School, and they now will leave BHS and leave a lasting legacy. But today we're gathered here to share a very special moment in the lives of you, the graduates. You're a class of great talent. After the ceremonies, you will all go home and start the rest of your lives, many going on to college, many on to work and careers. You'll face new challenges and choices as you go. Now, I know this sounds like a parent thing, but I'm a parent, so I guess I can do this. But as you face these challenges in life, please do it with thought. Make wise choices. And remember the potential outcomes. Please remember to be safe and that we love you. Congratulations, class of 2001.
Good morning. Members of the school board, Mr. Minicello, honored guests, ladies and gentlemen, and distinguished graduates of the class of 2001. It's my pleasure to welcome you to Bow High School and our 4th commencement ceremony. It is truly a privilege for me to have the opportunity to share a few thoughts and memories of the class of 2001. I'd like to start today by thanking some people who, through their hard work and dedication, helped to make this commencement ceremony possible. First, Mr. Bill Mativier and the Bow High School Band and Chorus for the wonderful music they are providing for us today. Ms. Gay Longnecker, who assisted the class in their graduation practices and who has helped guide them and help them become the responsible young men and women they are today. Our guidance team, Mrs. Colleen DeRusso, Mr. John Faris, our counselors, Mrs. Martha Ray, our registrar, and Mrs. Lisa Ransom, our dean of students, who have helped our seniors navigate through high school and prepare for the future. To our school secretaries, Mrs. Peggy Burkhart, Mrs. Sue Metzler, who is joining us today, Mrs. Kathy Leclerc, for all of the time that they've spent answering questions, making lists, giving advice, and supporting our seniors at every step along the way. Finally, this ceremony does not happen by itself. It takes an enormous amount of work and coordination. I would ask you to help me thank Mrs. Martha Ray, our graduation and awards ceremony coordinator, and Mrs. Colleen DeRusso and Mrs. Robin Steiner, our senior class advisors. We would not be here this morning if it were not for the dedication and tireless efforts of some very remarkable people. I'm referring to our staff, not only here at Bow High School, but also the staff of Bow Memorial School and Bow Elementary School. Once again, I would ask the members of the class of 2001 and the audience to join me in showing their appreciation for all of their hard work. And as Mr. Wester said, I too would like to make special mention of a member of our staff who has been with our graduates, not only here at Bow High School, but also at Bow Memorial School. A member of our staff who has shared not only his skills as a teacher of mathematics, but also his wisdom and his sense of humor. Congratulations and good luck in your retirement to Mr. Jim Jordan. Now let me turn my attention to our graduates, the Bow High School class of 2001. You are a very special class, a very talented class too, as we can tell with your beach balls. You have been a very special class in the brief history of our school. You are a class full of incredibly talented young men and women, and you are a class full of Bow High School firsts. Here are some of the firsts of the class of 2001. You are the first class to complete 4 years at Bow High School and the entire BHS program. For the first time, we have a class who has had the opportunity to experience everything Bow High School has to offer. Academically, you have worked hard and distinguished yourselves. Over 87% of the class of 2001 will be going on to colleges and universities next year. In 4 years, you have shown your ambition and obviously taken our school philosophy to heart. You have demonstrated your commitment to interdisciplinary project-based learning when 2 of your members proposed that Bow High School students design and build a new elementary school to meet the growing student population of the town of Bow. You demonstrated your commitment to senior projects by taking one not only to a new state or a new country, but to a new continent. Laura Owens raised money and participated in a mission trip to Africa as her senior project, and yesterday she came in on a day she was not required to be in school and shared her experiences with our World Studies classes. You demonstrated your commitment to our best curriculum by your participation in lifelong leisure activities like the bouncy house that you set up yesterday in the school parking lot. And you demonstrated your commitment to community service by volunteering to clean up the school grounds of debris piled in front of the front doors. And by replacing all of the school clocks which mysteriously disappeared on Thursday. Other firsts for this class include the first BHS prom on a boat, the first class to have a senior appreciation day, the first senior awards night just for seniors, the first class to win back-to-back state championships, the first class to travel and compete in an international music competition, and the first class to win and hopefully retire the March Madness shoe toss competition. You were the first class to kidnap another school's mascot. Miss Longnecker still talks about having Bambi in her office. The first class to have a 4-day senior class trip. The first class to blame an inanimate object for activating a fire alarm. And the first class to have among your ranks an academic All-American. Congratulations, Rachel Scheinbaum. Being first is a tough position to be in. If you're a skier, and I bet we all wish we were today, and you're the first, you must ski through powder, pack it down, and make the way easier for those who follow. If you're an actor or a musician, and you are the first to perform a piece or play some music, you must interpret what the author or composer wanted when they wrote the piece. Others who perform the play or the music have the benefit of your performance. So it is with the class of 2001.
They are the first to successfully complete 4 years at Bow High School. They are the risk takers. They are the leaders. They are the tradition makers who will leave an indelible mark for those who follow because they have shown the way. When you came here 4 years ago, no one knew what Falcon Pride was. Now, 4 years later, you define it. I would like to leave you with a poem entitled Don't Fear Criticism. The galleries are full of critics. They play no ball. They fight no fights. They make no mistakes because they attempt nothing. Down in the arena are the doers. They make mistakes because they attempt many things. The man who makes no mistakes lacks the boldness and the spirit of adventure. He is the one who never tries anything. He is the brakes on the wheel of progress. And yet it cannot truly be said that he makes no mistakes, because the biggest mistake he makes is the fact that he tries nothing and does nothing except criticize those who do. You are certainly not a class who sits on the sideline. You are a class of doers, a class that lives life with boldness and the spirit of adventure. I hope you will always have pride in yourself and in Bow High School. Be proud of your firsts and the school you helped to create. I sincerely wish you a safe and happy summer and the very best in all you do in the future. Thank you.
Good morning. Wow, you're tall. Seeing all of you fanning out there and knowing how hot it is, I've cut this down to an hour. Welcome. I'm so happy to be here today, and congratulations. You've spent the last 4 years slavishly working your heart out. You've got the entire faculty, your friends, and your family assembled here. Look proud. You should be proud. I'm proud of you. Perhaps we should decide that you're wearing those silly hats to teach you something about balance. That's the key to a happy life. Life's a funny thing, isn't it? As I look out at all of you today, I ask myself, how did I get here? I know, but how is it that I find myself standing in front of what can only be called an assembly, a captive audience, saying what's on my mind? It's surprising, but life is surprising, and that's a good thing. Because it's nice to know that when you least expect it, things can take a sudden turn for the better. You can actually have the life that you think only happens to other people. Isn't that wonderful? When I graduated from high school and enrolled in college, I was worried what people would think about me. And that brings me to my first big tip. Don't worry about what people will think about you. Because first of all, they're not thinking about you. They're worried about what you're thinking about them. Anybody who thinks less of you for following a dream isn't worth worrying about anyway. It takes a lot of courage to follow your heart and your instincts. It's not always pretty, and it's not for the faint-hearted. But it leads to me into my next and maybe most important tip. Don't be afraid to have a dream. Because one of the most amazing things about life is that dreams can become reality. I offer myself as living proof. With perseverance, faith, and a little luck, truly incredible things can happen to you too. I would not trade the 31 years that I have worked in the brain factory for anything. I promise you one thing, it won't be easy, but it'll be a lot easier than spending the rest of your life wishing you had done something and feeling disappointed in yourself for not having done it. It is of utmost important for you to figure out as soon as possible that you must do things that make you love yourself. Because I know so well how easy it is to be hard on yourself, too hard, and how unforgiving one can be when it comes to one's own shortcomings. Of course, some healthy self-criticism is good, But I also know how negative voices inside you can get carried away until that's all you hear. Never let that happen to you. Never. Now, you know how they always tell you when you grow older your face will clear up? It won't. I'm telling you that so you can get on with your life. I'm still waiting to lose my baby fat. I've waited my whole life. Some of you may spend too much time in front of a mirror thinking, I'm too fat, I'm too skinny. I'm certain each one of you could give me a detailed list of your physical imperfections, as I could do the same about myself. And here's a really important tip. For every 5 minutes you stand looking at yourself in the mirror, spend 10 times that amount of time looking out at the world. In reality, your happiness has a lot more to do with with how the world sees you than with how you see the world than how the world sees you. Time is our most limited resource. Don't waste it on things that are not important. Like that. How you look is not nearly as important as who you are. If you want to make yourself beautiful, do it from the inside out. Work on your personality, too. It's the one quality that doesn't fade with time. In the next few years, you're going to be getting a lot of advice. Many of you are going to be dealing with parents and family who have your future all mapped out in their minds. And it may not have anything to do with what you want. In fact, your parents may not seem to know at all. But you know what? Maybe they do. Possibly they can see things in you that you cannot see in yourself. And they have the experience of having been on this planet a lot longer than you have. They've seen more of what can go wrong. So here's another tip. Listen with an open heart and an open mind to those who love you most. Kindness and awareness, what a concept. I'd like to share a story with you. It's a very, very old story. It's a true story, and I'm sure some of you have heard it. But it's so wonderful, you're going to hear it again. It's about a simple act of kindness. One day, when I was a freshman in high school, I saw a kid from my class walking home from school. We'll call him Kyle. It looked like he was carrying all of his books, and I thought to myself, why would anybody bring all of their books home on a Friday? He's probably a nerd. I had quite a weekend planned, parties, a football game with my friends on Saturday, so I shrugged my shoulders and went on. As I was walking, I saw a bunch of kids running toward him. They ran at him, knocked his books out of his arms, tripped him, and he landed in the dirt. His glasses went flying, and I saw him land in the grass probably 10 feet away from him. He looked up, and I saw this terrible sadness in his eyes. My heart went out to him, so I jogged over. I picked up his glasses, saw a tear in his eye. As I handed him his glasses, I said, "Those guys are jerk. They need to get a life." He looked at me and said, "Hey, thanks." There was a big smile on his face. It was one of those smiles that showed real gratitude. I helped him pick up his books and asked him where he lived. As it turned out, he lived very near me. So I asked him why I had never seen him before. He said he'd gone to private school and had just moved there, and he knew that people would never hang out with private school kids. We talked all the way home, and I carried his books. He turned out to be a pretty cool kid. I asked him if he wanted to play football with us on Saturday with me and my friends. He said, sure. We hung all weekend, and the more I got to know Kyle, the more I liked him. And my friends thought the same of him. Monday morning came, and there was Kyle with the same huge stack of books again. I stopped him and said, "Damn, boy, you're going to build some really serious muscles with this pile of books every day." He just laughed, and he handed me half of them. Over the next 4 years, Kyle and I became best friends. When we were seniors, we began to think about college. Kyle decided on Georgetown, and I decided on Duke. I knew we would always be friends and that the miles would never be a problem. He wanted to be a doctor, and I was going for business on a football scholarship. Kyle was valedictorian of our class. I teased him all the time about being a nerd. He had to prepare a speech for graduation. I was glad it wasn't me having to get up there and speak. Graduation day, I saw Kyle. He looked great. He was one of those guys that really found himself during high school. He filled out, and he really looked good in glasses. He even had more dates than me, and all the girls loved him. Sometimes I was jealous. Today was one of those days. I could see he was nervous about his speech, so I just smacked him on the back and said, "Hey, big guy, you'll be okay." He looked at me with one of those looks, you know, the grateful kind, and smiled. "Thanks," he said. As he started his speech, he cleared his throat and began, "Graduation is a time to help those who helped you make it through the tough years. Your parents, your teachers, your siblings, maybe a coach, but mostly your friends. I am here to tell all of you that being a friend to someone is the best gift you can give them. I'm going to tell you what happened." I just looked at my friend with disbelief as he told the story of the first day we met. He had planned to kill himself. He talked of how he'd cleaned out his locker so his mom and dad wouldn't have to carry all his stuff home later. He looked at me and gave me a smile. Thankfully, I was saved. My friend saved me from doing the unspeakable. I heard the gasp go through the crowd as this handsome, popular boy told us all about his weakest moment. His mom and dad looked at me with that smiling, grateful smile. Not until that moment did I really realize its depth. Never, ever underestimate the power of your actions. With one small gesture, you can change a person's life, for better or for worse. God puts us all in each other's lives to impact one another in some way. In closing, I'm going to give you some important things you'll probably never ever hear from anybody except someone like me. Number one, save yourself several $1,000s and start flossing today. Next, always, in all circumstances, wear comfortable shoes. You never know when you might have to run for your life. The most important, never, ever argue with an idiot. Practice everything in moderation except moderation, which you should practice in excess. Be sure to have a hobby. Marry late. Keep track of your friends. Life is short, so cram as much fun into it as possible. And remember, anybody can fake being serious, but nobody can fake being funny. Have a good sense of humor and allow yourself to laugh. There have been a lot of men and women who have gone before us lighting the way, knocking down walls, opening doors, kicking butt, so the way for those of us coming up behind them might be just a little bit easier. So today, I ask you to remember them. And with all of my high hopes, congratulations, best wishes for your future, carry on, and be careful out there. Thank you.
Good morning. It's hot out there. Okay. Standing here, more nervous than I've ever been before, it's hard to believe that it's all coming to an end. It's hard to believe that just 4 years ago, we stepped into this school through the front doors as the first freshman class of Bow High. We had high hopes and were eager to begin our high school careers, anxious to grow up and find ourselves. 2 years ago, we came back to Bow as sophomores, with experience and a sense of belonging under our belts. Falcon blood pumped through our veins. But we still sought to grow up, to be older and more mature. Last year, we were upperclassmen. We could drive, we had the time of our lives at prom. We began to realize for the first time that we were growing up, and that, soon enough, we would leave Bow, and the memories that we made here would be all we had to take with us. Now, it's hard for me to believe that we're seniors. This year, we created more memories than we ever thought possible. We rose quite early in the morning in order to park giant buses and control the masses at the Speedway in September. We made a spectacular landing at grad night in Florida, listening to the Jerky Boys on Bus 1, grooving to 9 Days, and cheering on our red night. We caught the flu and spent the day playing frisbee at Hampton Beach, where no amount of clouds or rain could ruin our good time. We made time stand still for the first time in Bohai history, conveniently set at 2:50. We were the leaders of successful sports teams, winning state championships and making it to the Final Four. Most of us are 18 now, all grown up in our parents' eyes. Time has somehow slipped through our fingertips, and our emotions are mixed. We are excited to start over, to move on to whatever next year brings to us. We are sad about the things that we must leave behind, our family, our friends, all that we have known, upset about the fact that soon we will be on our own. We are realizing just how fast time passes us by, and how we must cherish every moment because these are truly the best times of our lives, and we will never get them back. In 1 year from now, we will all be different people. We will have made new friends, but hopefully we will have kept in touch with the old. We will have had new and interesting experiences, and these will have made us stronger, made us better people. So wherever the road of life may lead you, remember that your journey started here and now, on this very football field, as you sit there sweltering in your gowns. And although high school may be coming to an end, keep in mind that your life is just beginning. The options are endless, but let me offer you some words of advice as you begin your travels. Today is the only guarantee you get, so take it. Get a good night's sleep. Hang on longer than your competition. Always go to the bathroom before long car rides. Dream big. You can never go wrong keeping your mouth shut. Leave them laughing. When life is unfair, bend down, take off your shoe, and throw it. Parts of life are left for chance. Dance. And to the class of 2001, I tell you to love the journey, not the destination. With that, I hope that as you venture out into the world after high school, you are sure to tuck these words safely away. They might come in handy someday, you never know. I also want to take this chance to thank you. I want to thank you for all the memories. They're endless and unforgettable. I want to thank each and every one of you for being you, because in this class there are so many unique individuals with so much to give to those around them. I'm sorry. Okay. Talk amongst yourselves. I can't give you a topic right now, but just 1 second. Whew. Okay. Finally, I wish all of you luck. I wish you good fortune. You need tissues up here. All right. I wish you good fortune in all you might do, for all of you are capable of going far and accomplishing great things. In the words of the greatest certified practitioner in medicine, Dr. Seuss, congratulations. Today is your day. You're off to great places. You're off and away. Good luck on your journey, graduates. It's been real. Thank you. Good morning, parents, friends, faculty members, relatives, and seniors. Well, class of 2001, we're here. It seems like only yesterday that we were starting as freshmen at the brand new Bow High School, and now here we are, 4 years later, about to start our lives as adults. I'd like to ask everyone here today to think back with me to a time in elementary school, maybe first or second grade. Do you remember a game called Red Rover, Red Rover? Two lines of kids face each other, and one line calls, Red Rover, send Susie right over. Susie runs across and tries to break through the interlocked arms and hands of the opposing line. The more I thought about it, the more I realized how similar this game is to life. Life calls each of us, one at a time, to experience the world and all it has to give us. In the game of life, we are all faced with good times, as well as the unavoidable obstacles and challenges. At some point, each of us is faced with a line of arms and hands which are trying to hold us back. For some, breaking through the opposition is an effortless task. For others, it is no easy job. Some people must use all their strength and courage to try repeatedly to make it through. Each of us handles struggles in different ways, and that helps define who each of us really is. We've all been faced with hardships, be they an illness, the death of a family member or peer, rejection, or any of those bumpy landings in life. Red Rover is not always kind, and the runway is not always smooth. Yet we made it. We've had support and encouragement from friends, family, teachers, faith, and our own self-determination to make it through and be okay in the end. And we, the class of 2001, are now ready to face a whole new game of Red Rover, Red Rover. As we leave high school behind us, we'll always remember the good times, as well as the bad. We'll remember field trips and classroom activities. Who can forget the bridge zip at Sergeant's Camp, or the creamy filling from Mr. Jordan's math class? We'll always remember the shoe toss and our red night at medieval times. We'll be reminded of lunches on the patio on warm, sunny days, and labs in physics class testing car brakes. During winter, we will reminisce about snowball fights and world studies, and rain will bring memories of traipsing around Walden Pond in a downpour. We have been fortunate enough to have had wonderful teachers and friends throughout our time at Bow High School. They have helped to mold us into the young adults we are today, and because of them, we are prepared for whatever Red Rover might present to us. We'll never forget these people, and even if we never see them again, they'll always be with us as a memory of our years at BHS. Thank you to everyone who has made a difference in the life of a student. Class of 2001, I wish you all the best in the future. Life is calling you to come on over, experience it with an open mind and an open heart. As the Irish say, may the road rise to meet you, may the wind always be at your back, and may you always face your Red Rover opposition with a smile. Morning. If there is one thing that remains sacred and unique to each and every one of us, it is the path that leads us home. The roads, turns, bumps, and curves that you can navigate blindfolded. The stop sign that you always roll through. The corner that you take so tightly that you drive over someone else's yard. The way you always look up to find the constellation of Orion as you pass by the wide open patch of sky above the tennis courts, or the loving beep of your horn as you pass by your best friend's house. These things make our routine journeys special and personalized. I was driving to my home the other night. It was late, 2 a.m. I had been with my friends at a concert in Boston, and was now on the last leg of my trek. My ears were still ringing from the loud music, and the words of the last song still played in my head. I feel home when I see faces that remember my own. I feel home when I'm chilling outside with the people I know. I feel home, and that's just what I feel, because home to me is reality, and all I need is something real. I've lived in the same town and even the same house my whole life. Every smile and wave, every changing of the season,
learning how to ride a bike and skip stones and make friends. All experiences, good and bad, have made me who I am. Whether you have lived here for your whole life or for just a couple of years, remember that our lives and stories and memories are all intricately woven into one another, all connected. In our ripe old age, we will wrinkle up our already wrinkled foreheads and scratch at the whiskers on our chins, thinking hard to recall the names and places that still make our eyes dance and a smile spread across our face. That is why you must never forget the people who made you laugh, or the ones who made you cry. Never forget your first day of kindergarten, or today, your last day of high school. Never forget the first test you failed, or your first kiss. But most importantly, never forget your home. As I stand up here today in front of you all, I can't help but feel at home. And the lyrics to that song from the other night still race through my mind. Well, in the end, we can all call a friend. Well, that's something that I know is true. In 1,000 years, in 1,000 tears, I'll come finding my original crew. 'Cause to me, throughout eternity, there's somewhere we are all welcome to go. I said it's something free, and that means a lot to me. When I'm with my friends, I feel home. Thank you.
This time I'd like to call forward the class officers, Jess Kaufman, Jen Volker, Ashley Carrier, Molly Bemke, and Danielle Gamlin.
When our high school opened in 1997, the town and faculty worked hard to make it everything that they had visioned. Over the past 4 years, we have watched it continue to improve and perfect itself not only academically, but athletically as well. Being the first class to experience all 4 grades, it's amazing to have witnessed 13 state championships and taken home 7 first-place plaques. The class of 2001 would like to thank you for all of your support, hard work, and dedication, and present Bow High School with their first ever trophy case, which is scheduled to arrive in a few weeks. Thank you. On behalf of the senior class, we'd like to thank Ms. Steiner and Mr. Russo for all their hard work and support helping us throughout our 4 years at Bow High. Thank you very much. At this time, I'd like to call up next year's senior class vice president, Grant Edwards. Grant, on behalf of the senior class, I would like to turn over the school key to you. Good luck.
Congratulations, you guys. Jessica Shea Kaufman. Jennifer Jane Volker. Ashley Beth Carrier. Margaret Ann Bemke. Danielle Laurel Gamelin. Heather Lynn Gatnarick. Rachel Leah Scheinbaum. Martin Dana Abbott. Christopher Robert Ahrens. Mark Patrick Baer. Bethany Ann Barker. Elizabeth Vasiliki Bezos. Whitney Elise Bean. Travis Scott Beebe. Lindsay Ann Blakey. Robert Mr. Bloomfield. Mark Andrew Bovair. Cheryl Ann Benito. Christopher Stephen Botcher. Jason John Bouchard. Benjamin Paul Bresler. Craig Adam Brown. Sarah Lynn Bucknam. Jeffrey John Bushold. Emily Rose Chalk. Christina Ann Crawford. Laura Beth Crescenti. Brennan Allen Darling. David Clayton Darling. Travis A. Dearborn. Anthony Christopher DiMaria. Corey James Dodsworth. Sarah Amanda Dopp. Leanna Marie Ferrante. Maria Gabriela Figuera. Craig Adam Fisk. Christopher Ryan Freeman. Shannon Elizabeth Galvin. Michael Paul Genovese. Heidi Evangeline George. Joseph Elmar Grigas. Emily Elizabeth Hall. Jesse Scott Hazeltine. Ashley Morgan Hill. David Scott Hink. Robin Michelle Hodgkins. Emily Erin Holbrook. Elizabeth Geraldine Holdsworth. Mary Nora Hoff. Jason Edward Hopkins. Joanna Wheeler Imsey. Erin Christine Johnson. Rachel Eva Marie Johnson. Kyle Michael Jones. Rebecca Lorraine Jones. Zachary Butts Kazan. Maureen Mary Kelligan. Jason Christopher Kettman. Jennifer Jean Killery. Andrew David King. Melissa Elizabeth Labonte. Maria Therese Legier. Frederick Scott Leon. Catherine Elizabeth Limoges. Christine Margaret Lowe. Jillian Laurel Massini. Peter Joseph Marr. Peter Michael Masick. Andrew John Matisse. Luke Corbett McCarthy. Drew Benjamin Miller. Greg Lindsay Minor. Scott Andrew Minicello. Aaron Donald Mitchell. Eric Joshua Moses. Petter Vesti Nakin. Deepak R. Nath. Brett Andrew Nault. Paul Thomas Oppold. Pierre Nettie Orcott. Shane W. Ordway. Laura Ashley Owen. Danielle Leslie Patsfield. Daniel Joseph Paulin. Dawn Marie Joy Perino. Stephen Anthony Peroni. Matthew James Raymond. Justin Theodore Reeby. Kelly Ann Robinson. Edward Lee Roraba. Catherine Suzanne Roy. Jeffrey Mark Scheibel. Jennifer Bridget Sissom. James Patrick Slattery. Catherine Mary Stroman. Jessica Marie Tam. Derek Scott Thompson. Serena Josephine Thompson. Laurie Beth Vincent. Jennifer Frances Wells. Kara Michelle Wester. Michael Edward Wayland. Jason Woods Young.
On behalf of the faculty and administration of Bow High School, I certify that the members of the class of 2001 have met all the requirements for graduation of the Bow School District and the state of New Hampshire.
Class of 2001, you may now turn your tassels.